always prayed before the beginning of the day and at the end of the day, and this is just, we're gathering before we're starting to see people for the day.
So we started where in the clinic we had enough as part of the medical team this year to actually have a separate pediatric group, and we actually practiced where the church is. In the clinic they saw all the adults, and it was some amazing amount of patients that they saw in 4 days. I think it was 1,000 patients. So as a physician, you know, there were 2 nurse practitioners and 2 doctors. Then there were 3 nurses.
More pictures. We had people that did need IV fluids, myself included.
Like Joyce.
That story comes later. There was the bed. This is Dr. Joe with one of the Haitians. That's the gist of their medical equipment, was checking someone's heart. They all have high blood pressure. I've never seen so many people with such high blood pressures, and I'm not sure why. I don't know, because they're not heavy people. You know, they certainly walk everywhere. They get exercise. Their substance is fruit, vegetables, you know, and meat. So I don't know, but some of these people literally had like 220 over 120 blood pressures.
But a lot of them, they know when the clinics are going to come, so they will come back. Even if their prescription has run out, they know a clinic will be there, so then they come in 3 or 4 months or whenever they know. There was one I know that we referred to the hospital right away, but a lot of times it was just making sure they had the drugs that they needed. And even Tylenol and Advil are prescription there. So many of the people who came just wanted to get some, and they all had aches and pains. And understandably too, a lot of the women who would carry those big heavy things on their head, you know, of course their shoulders and necks are going to hurt. But again, I think a lot of them do wait knowing that the clinic will be there. But this is free and open to them year-round. They just aren't as aware, and they want to make sure that they're seen.
At the St. Henry's Pharmacy, it was established as part of the clinic construction. And the other parishes that we had said, like primarily I said, you know, St. Henry's does financial. The other parishes, most of them bring the medicines or donate medicines or gather funds in order to get medicines. So everybody has a part, and primarily a lot of their medications are cardiac. They're all hypertensive. A lot of them have diabetes, antifungal. They all get deworming medicine just because of the conditions over there, but every kid got vitamins and deworming.
And that was one way we started to get to know each other as the team. Was on the Sunday we arrived, we all counted pills into, you know, 120 here and 20 there, and did it properly. So it's interesting. You get to know people by counting and trying to talk and count at the same time. So we don't know really how many they got, but they got some.
This is just another picture of the St. Henry's, that the pharmacy was named after St. Henry. And they spell it different, so I've spelled it 2 different ways on that thing or whatever. This is things of what the pharmacy consists of, like they're in bags and, you know, whatever. Pharmacy, and they come up and they get their medicines. Now, in this picture, see how it's all covered and they're all waiting? It was just filled with people. What they had done is, I think 300, but some still, they didn't really like turn anybody away, but they had given out tickets for the day. And they had given out like 300 tickets for the day for the adults. And like Colleen said, we were really fortunate this time because it just worked out that Colleen and I are both pediatric nurses, and we had 2 pediatric nurse practitioners. So what we were able to do is for 2 full days, they saw at the clinic, and then we were at the church seeing pediatric patients, so we were seeing double the amount of patients. Then on day 3, they saw adolescents. And then the 4th day, we were all at the clinic. But we saw like over 1,000 people in 4 days.
So you see up in that upper right as part of the pharmacy. So yes, some of the things we counted we would put in. The physicians or the practitioners, when they wrote scripts per se, there was just a piece of paper and you just checked this. You know, all of them had dry, itchy eyes. All of them needed some kind of pain med. You know, and certainly there were more serious things, but in general, everyone came to make sure they saw someone and left with it. When you see the pediatric pharmacy that we had under the church, This is 1,000% better. They had doors, they had things, they might know where the supplies were.
And everything went through an interpreter, so there is like no HIPAA there, okay? None. That was kind of interesting. Again, more pictures just of the pharmacy. Small, but very efficient. More pictures, counting, doing things, whatever. See other people lined up there, that's outside the clinic.